Welcome, welcome, good evening. Welcome to the Square Store. I am your host with the hostess. Look, I had to say that. La'Tanya Moore-Newsome. And to the right, we have co-host Ashley Moore. Hey, Ashley. Hey. She, she likes to hear her name because it's in a song. Ashley. Ashley. DJ. We have two guests, great friends of mine. To the right, ladies first, we have
Valencia. Hey everybody, how y'all doing tonight?
Hey, Valenciaga. Alright, to the left, we have, so you gotta give the drum roll. We need a drum roll when we coming in, we ushering in the men. You know what I mean? Like showing y'all how grateful we are for y'all. So tell us who you are.
Islam. My name is Tariq Mustafa Saudi El.
Hey, I'm gonna learn that full name one day. Yeah. Is that gonna be? Does she have to take on that last name?
Yeah, I actually just got adopted by my Supreme Grand Chickenist tribe this past Friday. So
congratulations.
That's an appointment right there. I appreciate that.
Okay. So your future wife have to take on that name that I couldn't pronounce, right?
Woo!
Is that right?
This is very true. This is very true.
Girls, ladies, remember what he said. Because I don't remember the last name. Does y'all remember? I know. I know. It was like rolled off his tongue, like Rico Suave back in the day.
Tariq Mustafa Saudi El.
Y'all ladies, one of y'all last
Mustafa
names.
Saudi El.
Mustafa Saudi El.
Tariq Mustafa Saudi El.
Okay, so we got that. You got it.
Yeah.
Outside of new names that potential future wives may have, tonight's topic is great. I think it's gonna get a little deep. We're gonna touch some bones in her or something. You know what I mean? I mean, it is what it is. But before we get into the topic, of course, we have performance battery, right? Do your thing, Ashley. Do your thing.
Okay.
So, it's loud. I'm going to have to turn that down. But we have a returning artist this week, Tariq, doing Sabotage. Yeah. Give your hand over, Tariq.
I'll take y'all to a movie real quick. Yeah. Sabotage.
Give a round of applause over there. What are y'all doing?
You gotta pay attention. Look, she looks deep in his eyes. While she's trying to catch her breath when I'm easing inside. She can't come up with a reason for why. Asking herself what she's teasing this guy. And why does she keep seeing this guy? He's a family man, but it's soon to be wiping his stepson now in his hands. Falling in love with it seems to be wise. Plus, she knows she's a side chick, so she figured just playing a role would be bringing a toe. But no, couple of months rolled by, she's rolling her eyes. She's walking outside in her home that he knows it was right. I guess she expected to get some type of affection. She followed him home and was so heavy, yet he collected. She slips in the car, watches he walks to the porch. A familiar face up out the house and top of some shorts. I mean, of course she knows it's healthy, but this had is parent. That's the way she seen him embrace it, had it in the feelings. And she envied the feeling. She envied that whatever his girl inside, he's dead and fulfilling. If he's all that she ever got was some dick and maybe a kiss and shit, that's what he's willing. A booty call and he labeled as chilling. Later that night she can stare at the selling. She's been crying for hours, now she can stare at the selling. She realized she's falling in love. But how the hell did this nigga get her like this? How he softened her up? Damn, as he caught in the glove. She took a side to the side and feeling like she was wrong for the drug. Meanwhile, he calling her up. She never gets that line and says to herself, because it's get that time. She caught a glance on the sky and she sips that wine. She shit has been crazy ever since that night. They don't even know it. They'll go to a crib, fucking like he usually did, and all that energy holding back, they don't even know it. He thinks he's playing a role, no problem. How would he know if he stopped taking a birth control? Not to mention she's poking holes in the ground. How would he even know that he's down when he passed out on the bed, she in the bathroom? She got a hand between her legs in the bathroom. Now minutes later, she's smiling back at a smiley face on the back, and she touched it, she checked it, the quarterback slow. A couple weeks before the wedding now, and he told her they need to stop because he's about to settle down. She bumped her head in her palms to say she understands. She started crying his arms because she's on the plan. She looked at him and said, one last time, we four steps there, pulled him out, one fast slide. Now he applied to see massage to the back of her head. She had his fix look like it was close to the back of her head. She works with her left, and she grabbed the phone with her right hand. She hits the cord and sets the phone on the nightstand, bam. But see, this man got his eyes closed, while her head is between his thighs, they put your watch by an iPhone. And then they make love. As soon as he wakes up, he thinks that she sleeps, so he's creeping out that she ain't up. She doesn't think when he thinks she's sleeping, she stays up. She doesn't bother him up his collar or makeup. That's something far much better in store. She got a whole tape of them fucking like that was a phone. That was the night before the wedding. Right me out back to the wedding with all of the state girls. They laugh and drink on my wedding. The second after she down with the rest of the third leg. So she's a text message to reach for a first leg. She got the phone and she's throwing sent on video. She doesn't recognize the number and phone like, really though? She plays it and now she's saying, who was this silly hoe? Oh, I'm gonna say who the fuck that I think it is. She's getting silly out when we see what she thinks it is. Faster than what she's thinking, I'm missing a blink of it. She's in the hell. She don't want to believe in it, now the girls are staring at her while she's heavily breathing. She tries to get herself together and tell them she's deep, but they ask her why. She don't even give them a reason, she just pleads and says she's so sorry. Grabbing the keys and up and leave her own party. Kitchen arrived with tears in her eyes, but she'll be giving the drive. And like he wanted to hold you, she ain't hearing alive. Coming soon on all platforms, yeah. Sabotage Part 1. Part 2 is coming real soon.
Whoa.
That definitely was.
Stand up first. You got you. She got questions for you.
Excuse me.
They definitely was a lot to handle. They definitely fit with tonight's topic. They get you thinking. They get you in your vibe. You can't even dance to that song. You got to sit down and be like, what the hell? Did you this? What happened? Okay. It's one of them songs. So, first question. What type of mood was you in when you wrote that song?
Oh man, listen, I was actually in maximum security when I made that. When I really got inspired with that, it was a brother of mine that actually made a song. It was called "Runaway Pride," and he was telling the story vividly. I was always inspired by like R. Kelly and Eminem, Biggie Smalls, a little bit of the storytelling as well as Nas. So I wanted to actually kind of create a movie that everybody could relate to. So I had to kind of illustrate that together.
That's deep. I can feel that. So, who is your favorite artist?
I don't really have one. One of my favorite artists is Jay-Z though.
Okay.
Jay-Z
Mr.
definitely one of my favorite artists though.
Last but not least, what would be a go-to song you would listen to?
Does it gotta be current? Does it gotta be current?
Whatever song you decide, like, hey, I'm in this mood, let me play this song.
That's a tough one. It'll probably be where I'm from.
Jay-Z, okay, I had to get my jukebox together. Okay, I can see that. So, like I said, he's a returning artist. We had Sabotage by Tariq. We're going to have him again. Everybody give him a round of applause for that.
A lot of y'all go get that. Go stream that. It's coming soon on all platforms. Be on the lookout for Sabotage Part 1 and Sabotage Part 2.
And before we give out your social media.
You can follow me at Trezor_7. You know, like I said, we have some good things coming for that Sabotage project, man, and please be on the lookout and stay tuned, all right? Peace.
Yes. Listen, I miss music that I can literally listen to and understand. You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Hey, this ain't got nothing to do with age. This is all about just being able to comprehend what you're putting into your spirit. You understand what I'm saying? So when you sent the song last week, I was like, oh yeah. Actually, me and Denaja listened to it. I was like, wow, did you hear that? Like the shit. And being a woman, I think we can relate to that. So, you know, the topic, I said the music fits the topic well. The topic is sabotaging the traditional family. Sneaky links, side pieces, secret lovers. So we touching some homes tonight. Cause I mean, you're right. That was, you know, listen. I think really, it's like such a trend to be the side piece, the chick on the side or the dude on the side. As I was picking the songs for us to post, you know, I do the stories and attach the song. It was a plethora of side piece songs from Jaheim. That I love me some Jaheim. I didn't know Jaheim had a song about side piece. Yes. I mean, it was from blues to R&B to country to rap to Afrobeat. Everybody knew about side pieces.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
It's been a trending topic for a while now.
Like,
That's why I say people lost that common sense when it comes to being in a relationship, because it's been so common for a very long time.
listen, we're going to get into this because, you know, at the two-edged sword, what we're about is building structure, strong, solid foundations. So we can't build a solid foundation when we're building on lies. There's no lack of loyalty, trust, deception, and really that's a third-party interference. And anytime you're not in a situation where it's, you know, granted, to the people that do the poly, the people that have the, you know, I got 2, 3, 5, 6 wives with these 2 phones, Bill, Kevin Gates, or whatever, that's different. What we're talking about is traditional family structures. Because if you have somebody on the side that your woman or man don't know about, then y'all in a traditional, monogamous, exclusive relationship and or covenant. And they don't know about this other person. So, y'all, let's get into these questions and see what we're dealing with here. We'll get started.
First question. What do you do when you find out you are a side chick and or side dude? Ooh. What would you do? What do you do?
So thankfully I ain't never been no side chick, and ain't never gonna be one. It ain't no me finding that out because I'm just not that. Because first of all, you have to have some type of discernment to know the person that you're with and to understand the person that you're with. And so I have a very great discernment. So if I feel like you're doing something, you know, that women's intuition is something serious. We know.
Yes.
We know, and it's like, okay, listen, it's up to you. Tell us the truth. Just tell me the truth. If I want to stay, I'm going to stay. If I don't want to stay, I'm not going to stay, you know. But no, I don't do that side chick stuff. I just can't do it.
What's he doing?
Baby. Right. But no, what would I do if I found out that I was a side chick? I have been put in that situation before without knowing. So once I found out, it was cutthroat. I'm a kick you to the curb type of person. Like, I give you your chance to do what you gotta do, but a lot of people was like, oh, we broke up. Oh, that's my baby mama. Oh, this was that. So it was cool, but once I found out, I was like, deuces, you out of here.
Oh, wow. Serene. What would you do if you found out she was a side piece? The man came back.
Man, listen, right now, I'm at a point in my life where I'm not really doing that. You know, I think majority of us, and that's what's up. The sister said she's never been therapy, so that's what's up. I think majority of us, or the generality of us, have been on either both sides of the fence with me. I was just younger. I kind of just played my position. I kind of thought it was fun. And I think that's why in modern times and in the modern day right now, it's more of a trend more than anything.
Come on over.
It's a modern trend more than anything because
Come on over.
What y'all got going on?
Pull up a seat.
What y'all got going on?
just like I thought it was cool. I thought it was fun when I was living in the moment or whatnot. I think that's what a lot of people are doing right now. You know what I mean? So I was just young, man. But right now, if I was to find myself in that position, it wouldn't even be honest with you. Be honest with you, wouldn't even get that far. Because I'm examining everything in my circumstance before I even try to form any form of commitment to anything. And let's just say if that ever happens, just to stick to the topic of the question, I'm removing myself from that. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's perspective though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Listen. When you have an understanding of what your value and your worth is, there's no way in your psyche are you going to be able, and for me, am I going to be able to lower my value and or my standards of what I am worthy of via my mind, body, and soul. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So if I'm knowing I'm in a situation where there's somebody, now there's granted now a lot of people, a lot of people don't, a lot of them just don't care.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I remember even with the wedding ring on, I drew more attention with my wedding ring on than I did with it off. And it's sort of like, okay, I can have the fun without being committal type thing. I've never been in a situation where I knew I was on the opposing team. When your movements ain't right for you, if I can't call you at a certain time, I don't see you on a schedule, a strict schedule, you know what I mean? After 9, your phone going to the caller you subscribed is not receiving calls at this time. Listen, I'm going to let you know that I recognize the pattern. And I don't care what story you give me, actions speak louder than words. I'm not. My value and worth, I'm not doing that. And then I don't want the karma. I don't want to pay the karmic debt for that. So a lot of people don't realize they have a karmic debt. You have dharma and you have karma, a whole nother situation. But those that overstand, no, like you got to move with integrity. Just move with integrity. Yeah, I ain't nobody's side, nothing, no sneaky, no secret, I ain't none of that. Right. Mama be like, what happened to so-and-so? I be like, man, do you know his phone don't ring after 9 o'clock? I'm like, something's wrong. Why your phone don't ring after 9? I know you got about 2-3 guys, but why is your phone not after 9 not disturbed?
Let me add on to that. When you playing that, when you playing that role, man, first of all, on one hand, you could be messing up a happy home. You know what I mean? You trying to, either if you, because some people will act like they're not doing that intentionally. Some people will act like, well, I'm just doing me, or whatever the case may be, and have no idea what they're doing to that individual's home. This individual got kids, this individual got a whole wife, they've been together for years on end. And you're slowly disintegrating that foundation of the household right there.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? But it's both on the side pieces part, and it's also on the initiator to even maintain that whole triangle.
And that's a good one, like the initiate. That's, because okay, so we okay being, or they, when I say we, not meaning us on the panel, but if parties are okay being side pieces, they're okay being side pieces for a reason. Meaning they're not concerned with the structure. And I feel like this is where we have to take accountability for our actions as women and or men.
Right.
Do I feel like there's a lot more women being side pieces? Absolutely. Is there a lot more men that's entertaining side pieces? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to play, and they ain't even going to play devil's advocate, I'm going to call it, I see things for what they really are. Now, when we're dealing with a situation like that, like this, now granted, I'm not saying the male and or female is correct with the way they're handling what they're lacking, the void inside the family structure, inside the household. What I am going to say is there's 3 parties involved. It's the side chick, dude, whatever. It's the person that's initiating it, the male or female, husband, wife, chick, dude, whatever. And then it's the person at home that has no clue, or does have a clue, but because of their situation or the way they value or lack of value themselves, they're okay with it. So we got 3 different individuals involved in this scenario that it traditionally should be 2. We cannot ignore the fact that for every action there's a reaction. So then we got to say, what is the other person, the person at home not doing for you to step outside?
This is
You know what I
very
mean?
true. This is very true.
It's sad.
Very true.
Now, again, people going to disagree. I don't mean he should be, I don't mean she should, And, you know, it's a very thin line. Because how do we know what the situation's been? If I've repeatedly told you I need something in my life, and you're not giving it, or you have not been willing to give it, or it's, you know what I mean, whatever the case may be per household individual, then there's going to be a time when somebody say, you know what, self-gratification kick in, and I'm going to find what you ain't doing. Some people just selfishly don't give to their partners. There's not an equal reciprocity. I don't know if y'all agree with that or not.
I definitely agree. It's just, even with that, it's supposed to be an integrity being enforced like that. If that's a situation where I'm in a relationship where I'm not getting what I need, or I'm not feeling consented, and I feel as though that I need to go outside of my relationship and find that, I'm gonna just go ahead and say we can just sever things. If we can't address that right, then we're gonna have to cut ties or something.
But a lot of men don't think like it. They just want to keep playing. So back to what I was saying, like I said, nowadays everybody want to play. Like, it's a game. Like, I don't have to settle down. I can go to this person, that person. He can go to this person, that person. And it's like a repeating cycle. Like, nobody's opening up to their eyes to the fact that now it's time to get back to those old ways of building foundations, building families, building companies, all of that. Like, I can't keep on saying nothing else, but it's just like cat and mouse right now. Like, it's become a trend. You know what I mean? Let's go to this question. Is it considered a side piece situation if neither are married?
So you're just saying, like, people are just in a relationship, but they have somebody on the side? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Most definitely. I'm in a committed relationship.
Let us know when you got a comment.
And she is, you know, he's coming home to me every day, every night, and he's with me every day, every night, you know, and you the side piece, he spends whatever little quality time. You still a side piece. No. Yeah, they just married. There's people in relationships too.
It's exclusive. It should be exclusive at that point. If there's a side piece, then there's an exclusive relationship somewhere. You know what I mean? I just watched the show, but this couple was actually married. The husband, he wanna always go get him a side piece. Well, this time when the side piece came around, the wife joined. But then he got mad because the wife ended up getting the girl off before he did. So he's in his feelings now, but she's like, why do you get to have fun and keep having side pieces when you don't even know I like to do the same thing that you do, even though you're a man? Let's have fun together. But some of them, even if they are having fun together, it still breaks it apart. It still crumbles everything that they got going on. But some people are okay with having open relationships with the side piece. And some people are not okay with having open relationship with the side piece. So at that point, she's no longer a side piece.
Yeah, she was, but the wife ended up didn't get into it till years later. The wife didn't even, like, she was like, why do I want to meet you? She was like, why? Because they end up giving her a condo, and she signed NDAs and everything. But she had already been messing with him for years. Yeah, she had already been messing with him for years, but he told her, I'm not going to leave my wife, a happy wife, happy life. So whatever they required her for her to do in a relationship, she had to do it to satisfy him, but then eventually the wife was like, I want her to do it for both of us.
So it's obvious it was just a sexual matter.
Eventually, after so long, but at the end of the day, it became a business decision. But she was a side piece for years before the business.
That's still not sexual, emotional decision. That's not business. Because business means what is she contributing? That's what
they pay her for the
she. So she's not the contributor. She's receiving, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For sexual pleasure.
But before the wife came around, it was just her and the husband for years. But because she wanted other stipulations like the condo and this and that,
Man, girl, bye.
You signing contracts and NDAs.
Girl, stop. Listen, at that point, you see, this is the thing. Life is too unexpected to be running around just dealing with just bull. You know what I mean? Like, if we're in a traditional relationship, go ahead. You can go ahead. Okay.
I am the author. There are a lot of women expecting being a side piece.
Absolutely, yes. Thank you. There's a lot of women accepting. You know why? Because again, it gives them the stability without the responsibility of being what a wife is. This is wifey material here, okay? So it's a lot that comes with that. And these women out here like, I'm just gonna be a piece of the flesh. I'm just gonna feed his craving. And a lot of them, the women, I really don't want to say what or can't say exactly part of what these women are doing or not doing in the household. Because it could just be him just wanting to soil his raw oats. It could be, he just has an extra. They use that a lot. I got an extra. Let me tell you something, bro. Okay? Let's not play this game. Because at the end of the day, after we hit 40 shorty, y'all don't want these problems.
At all,
That
period.
not want these problems. Can't even keep up, okay?
But see, and that's also the man's fault at the end of the day, because the relationship should not have ever gotten that far if he's not that content. If you're not content with somebody that you're married to, you want a serious relationship with, or you want a relationship where y'all taking it serious, it shouldn't have even got that far into the commitment if you're not that content with them. I agree. You know what I mean? It shouldn't have even got that far. Then on top of that.
But see, to add on, there's a in one of Jay-Z's songs, I don't know the name of it. He said, you dudes treat the one that you loving with the same respect as you treat the one that you humping. That's the problem. Exactly.
We was going to get to that. Listen,
that is some. Oh,
listen. We was going to get to that. That's why I said now, understand, and I have to tell them when I get the calls, he's not calling me like this, and he's not doing that, or, she's not doing this, and I want her to. I said it's levels to this shit. So, being a hierarchy, listen, as a widow and or wife, there's nowhere else up. You can't go no higher up. So you can't expect to be treated side pieces. You bitches, y'all down here. I'm gonna tell you, dudes, chicks, whatever. Y'all the lowest of the totem pole. Because once you devalue yourself, you take away your integrity, you take away your accountability, you take away your morals, you just diminish, like you said earlier, you don't know what structure, what covenant with the Most High are you breaking or are you slithering into, because you can't get that yourself. I don't need to be a side piece because I'm white. You know what I mean? We don't need to be side pieces because this is what wives look like.
But you see, there's some women, they have this notion, because I've seen it, you see all these stories where the husband has left the wife for the side piece or something like that, and it don't get no better, thinking it's gonna get better.
The
But there's a lot of
80-20,
women,
miserable as
and
hell.
there's a lot of women who love competition. So they like to say, well, I got your man, you know what I'm saying? That's how I took your man. I took your
That
man.
becomes the ego thing. It ain't even about the man no more.
Right, and it's like, that's what, you are bragging about that?
Right.
At that point, it's just stupidity.
I mean,
Yeah.
because even when girls used to come up to me, I went through that at a young age.
Wow.
I was dating a dude that already had a kid but before we was even 18. So I went through
The baby mama, baby daddy drama at an early age, and I would be like, what the hell? Like, I'd really be sitting there like,
Yeah.
you is very mental.
Right.
Like, the girl would be like, he's in the bed with me right now. I'd be like, damn, you in the bed with her? We live next to each other. You in the bed with her? What happened? Like, it just, they hold on to that. It hurts them to even walk away. Like, walking away is detrimental. And that's the thing, when it comes to competition, and you know, like, I'm super competitive. But what I will not compete with is a woman that already has put in the work to solidify getting her lead, her head, her foundation, her man. What I need to do is make sure that I'm looking for my head, my lead, my man. And I think we all have been through some situation like that. Even in my marriage, I went through that, but I was way not. I wasn't as polished as I am now. You know, been in the projects, all that. Like, you know, it was like, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house.
Right.
And at that point, all bets are off. I'm coming for your head. Period. I don't care nothing about nothing, because this is my home, this is my foundation, my structure, and my job is to protect it. Just like I use the analogy of the chessboard. Everybody's trying to get the king. It's the queen that if you get her off the board, you pretty much you have then conquered the empire. It's not if the king's going to checkmate, it's when. And because I was the queen of my empire, I knew I had to protect it at all costs. Point blank, period.
And see, this is what I was having a conversation with somebody, and I was telling them that, you know, sometimes it's not what you do, it's how you do it.
All the time.
Okay, so if a man is going to decide to have a side piece and try to keep it from his significant other, his wife, or whatever he calls the relationship, first of all, y'all men, y'all pillow talk too damn much.
Too much.
Too much. You ain't got to do all that and tell them all your business in order to get the cookies. It's too easy nowadays. You don't have to do that. Y'all giving too much of our information.
Why the side piece know more about your wife, your chick, than she knows?
She
She don't know
period.
nothing about the other
What time
chick.
she gotta work? What
Right.
time? Where she working?
What kind of car
type of
she
business
drive?
got? And then she threatening to call your girl, and now you sitting there, you trying to, oh no, don't call her, you know, and it's like, it's just too much, y'all doing too much. Y'all putting in more effort to have a side piece and a side, whatever you want to call her, than you are to your main piece on making it better, whatever the situation may be.
It's a lot of peaceful time too that you may not know about.
What do you mean by peaceful time? You
Go
mean
ahead.
with the side chick?
We gonna get into that. Why don't you teach your main chick what you want when it comes to your piece?
Let me be honest. I mean, at the end of the day, you gotta realize why
And
men.
I'm sorry, you know they hate to hear voices and no faces.
We'll go up in here. All right. So like you said, look, I don't cheat. Let's put that. I don't cheat.
All black men do not cheat.
Black
You want
men
me to
don't
do
cheat.
cheat?
All right, all black men don't cheat. But I mean, at the end of the day, it really comes down to like, you guys saying all this negative stuff about a side chick, right? You know what? Like from a man's perspective, who's in that situation, yeah, they don't look at it like that from your perspective.
You know, you was outside for the first 10 or 15 minutes, so you didn't hear me say that it's 3 parties involved.
Oh, absolutely.
And everybody did not hear, you know, they may not agree, but I'm going to be fair that there's stuff for every action is a reaction. Not justifying lying. Because at the end of the day, regardless of what it is, have enough integrity to go to your partner and say, listen, this ain't working. It ain't working. And then move on. Don't put nobody in a situation where they have to look at when you call your phone 49 times because you got it on do not disturb because you laid over the side piece. Like, no,
I've
seen one today that said 327. Absolutely.
Alright, so yeah, that makes sense. What you're saying right there. But if a person feels like they're in a situation where if they do be honest, it's gonna ruin their life, you gonna act accordingly.
Side piece ain't ruining your life?
No, I'm just saying, whatever situation, he may be with his main chick, but like I said, why be super honest on something that let's just say he got a side chick because he got peace of mind with the side chick. You know what I'm saying? No.
That means you need a new name.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying it's right or wrong. A feeling is a feeling. And I've learned from my past experiences that a woman's gonna feel how she wanna feel regardless of the logic that's put into it. Am I lying?
You said the woman. I ain't say the man.
The only reason why I say woman,
but
the only reason why I say woman because I only interact with women. Because Georgia.
But you know,
I only interact with women, so that's my only.
I'm not mad at you clarifying. I'm not mad at you clarifying.
We get it so understand
but just not the problem. Just the camelback though. Once again though, this still falls on the dude. I mean, you know what I'm saying? The dude. If I got my household, if I got my humble abode, if I got my kingdom estate, what was all this work I put in building all this, and I feel more comfortable with myself than with the woman.
Hello.
That don't make sense to me. So that's what I'm saying. It falls on the man. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, when we talking, because we talking about being. We talking about being the leader in the household. We talking about being the wise one in the household, supporting the wife. You know what I mean? But like, let's say about our examination when we putting all this work, and we don't even know who we sleeping with. Everything. You know what I'm saying? That we gotta go out into the wilderness and find us a house. You know what I'm saying? We gotta go into the wilderness and find us a house. We got. You know, you ever play in the wilderness on the other side is a farm, and you gotta find you a house, and you slide back into the wilderness. So you feel as though she's giving you everything that you don't get at home. What the fuck was she doing at home?
Exactly.
What was you doing over there?
Who was you building with?
Sound like you need to come back in the day. Like, where my man at? I mean, real, all jokes aside, and I get it from both sides. So I think, Philip, what you're saying, and you know, we're gonna be fine. Philip is saying that why would he introduce what he got going on the left hand, not letting the right hand know what it's doing, and it's gonna cause self-destruction to your household. Is that what you're saying, right? Because you're getting peace from the outside. Okay, so what?
That was accurate.
Okay. And then what Tariq is saying is, okay, so why would you choose somebody that's not peaceable when you have to go outside? Because see, what happened when you build the foundation is blood, sweat, tears. You're teaching, you're leading, you're using, like, come on, man, like, we're not building homes to tear them down because we let the rodents in. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, I'm pest controlling my shit. Anytime I get a man, you better not even knock on my door talking about you HOA with cookies. I'm gonna talk to you, girl, outside. Okay? You know what I mean? So what happens is, listen, that was definitely good. I get what you're saying. Again, I really do. But this is where we're going into the other side of the fence with the woman and or man on the other side that's not providing what it is that's needed for their spouse. So this is where I say where accountability also comes in on all three parties. Exactly. If you're coming, the first thing on the side piece where, again, those people have low self-esteem. They thrive off, like you said, the fact that that's why we got OnlyFans pages and all of that stuff going on. Like, people need to be validated. Their dopamine needs to be triggered because they don't have self-value, self-worth. And the only way they can get that self-gratification is from taking something that is happy and pleasant for somebody else. Because really, a real man is not getting ready to marry no hoe.
No.
He gonna lay with her, play with her, He ain't married no hoe.
A lot of them are getting wiped up right now, though.
Girl, listen.
No.
A lot of them are getting wiped up.
And listen, look at the quality. Okay, so check
but
it.
a lot of them
So
are
what's the
getting wiped
quality?
up.
So let's say the side piece, because I know her and Jasmine Soda
This
made it
actually was just on the
right?
talk show today that I saw about
So,
how the girls was
let me-
complaining about the
Explain
wives
it.
and the side chicks.
Let me
being
tell you
wiped up.
something. This is why, it's just like when everybody was mad, rest in peace, Kevin Sanders. You know why he didn't irk my nerves? Because I'm not one of the women he talking about.
Right.
It ain't hard. I'm not one of the women he's talking about. So why am I offended?
Because there are women he's talking
Those are the women that he was talking about.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So let's say we got the women, oh, the side chicks are doing this and that. The first thing to do, tell a little story. And I don't even share it. I know this is live. And you know what I mean? I'm just going to say it. Because from experience. Now, when I first got married, and we were younger, we young, 20s, you know, man, you know, he was smart. He knew this is something I need to lock down. Even if I'm not ready, I need to lock this down. So when I'm ready, you know how you get that real good meal, and then you put your leftovers in the refrigerator, and the leftovers is the best. I'm just saying, I ain't leftovers on the leftovers be fine, right? They done marinated and all that.
Right. Throw a little water on
You know, men are smart. Women think men are not smart. They're very, very smart. They're very strategic because y'all think logically. So he's like, okay, I'm young. She a good woman. So unbeknownst to me, you know, until it was later, like, dude, we're ready. Nevertheless, we're already married. So I found out about a whole full affair, right? First time it happened, we get on the phone. I know. We get on, it was only one time. We get on the phone, and I'm trying to be the bigger person. Listen, I'm telling you now, stop coming in my house. The next time I have to tell you, because the next time, bitch, I'm going to kill you. It was just simple. I'm just saying. Checked my husband. We got through that. It's great. Now, we was in a relationship then. Now we engaged, now we married. After we get married, shit happened again. So then I remember it happened. I was thinking about this because we was talking about the topic, and I was having this conversation with one of the people that was in a marriage group that we had once we moved down here. And I remember I wasn't angry when I found out, right? Chick called me, homegirl called me. I called and talked to her, all this stuff happened. We going through the motion. And I wasn't angry. What I did was I sat back and I said, what is it that I need to learn from this? What is the lesson for me, right? Now, granted, was it right that my husband stepping out? Absolutely not. Was it wrong that he was stepping out? Absolutely not. So if we being fair, we being honest with ourselves, we can't just fault somebody for doing what's best for them. You know what I mean? It's unfair. It's selfish. So I sit back and was like, what is the lesson? And I remember asking him, because of course he was outside the house, because at this point, I need you outside the house for a minute. You know what I mean? And I mean, we had a conversation. He came back, he's trying to come back home, whatever. And I was like, so what was it? I'm going to tell y'all straight up. I said, she's ugly. She ain't cuter than me. She was not cuter than me. I'm like, she got big teeth, so I know if she giving you head, she's biting it up. She's telling me, I'm like, keeping it 100.
Real deal.
She don't make no, she look like Mr. Ed. I was like, she, even with working, she works at a factory. Homegirl's making like $8.25 an hour. I'm making triple that, and I ain't leaving the house. I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, all these things. And what I thought in my mind I was doing right was not what that man needed. So he said, she listens to me. Because she's hard-headed, she makes me feel needed. Mr. Ed is doing, and I ain't gonna lie, I was saying, I can laugh. I laughed for a long time now. This was a long time ago, but what I did, and I took that in, and I'm like, but I'm making sure we good. Like, I'm doing everything I need to do. But with me doing everything that I felt like I needed to do, which is probably what's going on in a lot of these households with the side dudes and the side chicks, is they're not really listening and caressing the needs of their partner. So what he needed was, baby, you're amazing. You know what I mean? Like, I like, you went to work today, yeah, do you need breakfast? What you need? You said, you need your feet rubbed? He said, like, I missed you all day, you was gone today. I'm gonna put this lingerie on. You're gonna get in the shower, I already ran the water. Your stuff is laid out. Your meal's in the microwave. I'll see you in about 45 minutes in the basement with the pole.
He ain't going nowhere.
This shit ain't hard. That was my lesson.
Oh, it's hard.
Now what's hard is, like he said, it's hard, he's silly. What's hard is, I'm sure, it might be, what's hard for a lot of people is not thinking about themselves first. That's what it is. And I learned that quick. I'm telling you, I learned that lesson so quick, because what I didn't want was I didn't want another snake to be able to slither in and say, what do you like? Whatever you like. That's my motto. I'm asking you, what do you like? And it ain't even, at this point, it's not about me, because now I need to find out what it is that the person I want to incorporate in my life likes. What is it that makes him tick? What turns him on? And I tell women all the time, you only need to be two things: his peace and his free. His peace and his free. It's not hard. You just got to put yourself aside to do that. That part. Next question. How do you know when you are in a side chick, side dude situation?
All right.
What do you think?
That is easy, you next.
You ain't get nothing? She's over here like,
so when you feel that way, is probably when you are.
Right, that part. Wait, hey, what you gotta say? Come on. He said when you feel that way, you probably are.
Right. Well, for me, it's pretty simple, because I believe in discernment. You know, and inconsistency is always easy to recognize. So once you see the inconsistencies, then you can do the follow-up, you do the checks, whatever you need to do. And that's it. It's pretty simple.
What if they're inconsistent because they work a lot? I mean,
You could be consistently inconsistent.
right. I was about to say, you can definitely be consistent.
Well, definitely you can. But was she consistent in the beginning? You know what I mean? Before she got a job, now she got a job, you know, is she working, is she not working? You know the pattern. You just have to follow up.
See, and my situation was a little different, because I am not for being a side chick, being the girl that you talk to on the side, or whatever the case may be. Now, will I do situationships? Yes. Being a side chick and doing situationships is different, depending on how you, depending on how you split it down the middle. But mine was, when I first moved to Georgia, I met somebody. And I mean, we kicking it. I done moved from an apartment to a house. He knows that address, this address. And it was like a whole year. And we came home from family vacation. I barely got my bags through the door, and I started getting all kind of text messages. Respected and checking, and this and that, and why you need this, and all that. And I was like, you read the messages wrong. You know, like, that money was for him to go to Florida with us if he decided to go. But when it all came down to it, when she was texting me, I'm the type of person, I'm going to call you. We're not going to do all this misconstrued, misunderstanding stuff, none of that. I'm going to call you. We're going to talk like women. We're going to do the woman to woman. So she was like, this is Shirley. Right. Like, I was like, he lied to both of us. The whole time, this man been with this girl since freaking high school. They got 4 kids, and then she's pregnant and just had a baby. And I'm over here like, well, congratulations, my tubes is tied. And then I'm over here like, why is you mad at me? Because just like you don't know about me, I don't know about you. So, but in this situation, I found out that I was the side chick. Because you've been with this girl since high school. You've been, it's on and off, on and off. So when I found out that he put me in that situation, I was getting ready to break his neck. He thought his baby mama was turning up the Mustang. I was getting ready to have him sitting in the river. Because I'm like, you got somebody calling my phone. And then she's reading the text messages that I'm reading to you and getting it misconstrued like I want money.
Who cares if
yes,
I'm getting you slept with her for a year.
Right, like,
I mean,
like, dude rolled up on me. I'm fresh in Stone Mountain and everything. Like, I'm just out here. I'm going to the store. I wasn't looking for nobody. You found me. So for you to find me and then come and put me in that situation,
that made me, like, as soon as I moved to her, I opened my eyes to a whole lot of shit, because I was like, okay, like, a whole year, like, B, come outside, let's go to the store, let's go out to eat, let's go to the liquor store, let's do it. And I'm like, okay.
But, and I know as a man, you're going to have something to say about that. Right? Go, Chris.
And I didn't know until I knew. Like, until that girl called me, I wouldn't have never knew that I was playing side chick to another person. This man literally sat down, was like, I'm sorry, but I like the way you move. I like the way your kids asleep when I come over. I like the way you move. I like this. And I'm like, well, he's telling me all this shit. And he was like, what got me was he told me I moved from number 3 to number 1. I was like, nigga, get your shit. Get your shit.
You did not say the N-word.
Yes, I did. And get out. Because at this point, you done lost your rabbit ass mind. Because I mean, that you been with your baby mama since high school.
Right. She graduated.
Right.
Side piece to
the main shit.
Right.
He said from 3 to number 1. So that means you don't even want to be with your baby mama no more. Nigga, I didn't even know you had kids.
Man,
Well,
I had a whole program.
listen, I mean, that's like,
I was like,
That's how he felt.
I mean, but see, what he told me, he literally told me, he was like, I feel like it's like, I feel like that you can take over her spot. Like, I like the way you move. And that's what it be when a lot of men leave their homes and go to the next woman. It's, they like the way that person make them feel, how they move, the way they see them. And it be an illusion a lot of times. It be like, I can see myself with her, but I'm not going to leave the person that I'm with to actually fulfill that.
We just think differently. You know what I'm saying?
you supposed to know that. So what's your thinking on that? Stand up and tell me. Make it make sense. Please, brother,
Stop
please.
being devil's advocate.
No, be your own advocate. We ain't breaking the devil in this situation. That's why we got to comment real quick.
Well, no, at the end of the
Okay,
day,
hold on. I think my shit real quick. What is it?
at the end of the day, it's not like what you agree with. It's understanding the situation. I may not. If something happened to me and it doesn't benefit me, obviously I'm not in agreement. But I can look back like, oh, you played that well. And I respect that. I mean, I may not like it, but I can respect that. So, like I said, it doesn't matter about if I agree or not. But if I understand how you went about it, like, and it worked for you, I took that L. And unfortunately, that's how we think. People think that way.
And that's one thing I would always say. You played me like a damn deck of cards, and you played a good ass hand. But the next time, you renege it, because you are not getting me the next time. For sure.
Comment. Give her the mic. We got a comment.
John Light.
What up, sis? What up, sis?
When the inconsistency shines through, you make time for what you want. And from One Key, referred to Ashley, gotta investigate these men nowadays.
All the time.
Yeah.
You definitely do. I mean, you know what? You don't get no answers, right? I ain't got time. And I learned that by 6th grade. The teacher was like, why are you raising your hand? I was like, cause I was told if you don't ask questions, you'll get answers. And I got somebody right now, you can see that when I get to be like, okay, so why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? Like when you get too intimate to get to that point, that's when they run away. So, like, a lot of them do run away when you trying to figure out who they are as a person, not just somebody you laying with, somebody that you come to see me because you got time, or you text me to see if my time is open. I need to know who you are. Okay.
DJ, Grady, baby. Women I have met, they know I had someone and they still wanted to be my girl.
Okay, so and I get that, Grady. You know what? Again, because this is why we like I said earlier, the women are okay with that because it takes out the responsibility of being a full-fledged woman. So I can just lay with you, play with you without the responsibilities of looking out for you, being your peace, making sure that I'm
solidifying with you this stable foundation, making sure that we grow together, making sure we cultivating something healthy for ourselves. A lot of people just want to be about them. Sex is a big part of it. Then we got finances.
I was about to say,
you know what I mean?
I was about to say, I think, you know, out of all that, it's going to be finances and it's going to be the lust at the end of the day. You got some females that are aggressive. They'll pull up on you when you want.
At that point. Oh, he ain't answering the phone.
But then on the other side, it's kind of like, man, why would you put yourself in that situation?
Why?
Because a lot of these females do this.
So I got
That's the thing. A lot of them do this.
I'm gonna piggyback on what he said. This is what I don't understand.
That's why I don't know.
Listen, I don't understand why. Okay, so our men know us. Your husband knows you, your man knows you, right?
Even your sneaky link know you. I'm sorry.
So, like, okay,
That's the way it is. Even your slide knows you.
She might know you. Well, go ahead.
So, like, you know me, like, and, you know, I'm real mellow, I'm laid back, you know, I don't want no beef, I'm getting older, you know, I'm over 40, I don't need to be doing that. But don't get it twisted. Right. Don't get it twisted, baby, because you got me throwing bricks at the prison because of some dumb shit you done did with your stuff. Don't think I'm not going to fight for mine. Right. Meaning, you're going to respect me, that chick is going to respect me, ain't going to be no disrespecting me. So, this is a small world, the whole country, people going on vacations every day. I might pop up and see this chick in Jamaica.
Yeah.
This chick, I don't even know who she is. She might come up to me, hey, ain't you such and such girl? Oh, and then we getting into it. She got her friends with her. Next thing you know, I'm getting jumped. I might have to pull out a knife and stab somebody. Right. I done caught a whole case because you ain't man enough to tell me what's going on and what I'm doing.
A lot of us have been in that situation.
And then another thing is, what I don't understand with men who do, so maybe y'all in the audience can understand this. So I don't understand if men do decide to cheat and have sneaky links. How can y'all expect a woman to follow your lead? How can I follow your lead? And you can't even lead enough to be a man and tell me the truth.
Amen.
How am I supposed to do that?
You got 2 women following your lead already.
You can't. No, you don't. No, listen. There's not 2 women, because once I find out and I know what's going on and what you're doing on the side, I'm side-eyeing you now. And I'm thinking like, damn, what type of man are you? Like, you couldn't sit me, I don't care how long it took. If you're not happy, you sit me down and you say, listen, I'm not happy. This needs to change now or else I'm leaving. Or I'm not happy, I want out this relationship now. How can I follow a man who is sneaking behind my back, lying to this woman, that woman, doing what he's doing? How can I expect you to lead me? Where you going to lead me to?
Because you don't hear about situations when they get caught.
He had a question. That's good, Valencia. We're going to touch. You said you had a question? Okay. You got to stand up and then the camera.
Okay, so I have a question for the panelists here.
Yeah.
All right, what about our men in this world today that are from broken homes? You know, men with our parents, fathers, mothers. You know, they weren't taught these things. They weren't taught how to love. They weren't taught how to treat a woman. You know, they hear, how can you live a life where you weren't taught?
Okay.
How can you expect them to deliver in a way?
We get this a lot, and this is simply me. So let's say you're a kid, you're 1.5 years old, right? And you go into the kitchen, your mom's cooking, old school moms cook, we cook, you know. The stove is hot. You go over and you touch that stove, right? After you burn yourself, the mommy's, giving you first aid, she's caring for you, right? Your brain now has sent a sensor to say, we're not touching that stove no more, it don't feel good, right? How many times do you touch that stove afterwards? Because see, I have 6 kids, and I know all of them did touch the stove at least once. Hot curlers and all that, and then never again, right?
You touched the stove?
She touched the stove, she fed us, she did all that. So do you know, you remember that, like, you're not going to touch that stove again, right? Because you know it doesn't feel good. It was something about this that's dangerous, right? How do you understand how to move differently when you come from a house that's broken, or where the dad's not there, the mom's not there, the dad's cheating on my people, whatever the situation may be? I think at our age, for us, we all came from something going on, because that was just that era. You know what I mean? Even for me, not being in a household where my biological dad raised me and seeing things, you know, and my mother's amazing, and my aunts, they did the best they could, raising us a particular type of way, which was actually from what they seen. You know what I mean? And at some point, as a young adult, I had to make a decision. Am I going to take the route that I've been seeing and the route I grew up in, or am I going to choose a different route so I can have a different outcome and a different perspective on the way I see things? So the way I was raised, it sounds complex, but it's not. Because you got to make the decision at some point. You have to make a decision to do what's best for you. And if you know, coming from an unstable environment with something you didn't like as a kid, having to shut the door, and you hear, and all of this going on, are you a latchkey kid? Are you know, like, we all dealt with different things. A hostile living environment in tough projects and things like that. You automatically, then at that point, I set out to say, I want to live in the suburbs because I don't want to hear gunshots. I don't want to hear cars putting down the street, waking me up in the middle of the night, and people hollering and breaking and fighting. Oh, I'm going to pick this type of man because I remember my stepdad, when he drunk, he got abusive, so I don't want a guy that don't know how to handle his liquor. Oh, I know my mom cried. I watched her and wiped her eyes a whole bunch of times because he was angry because he wasn't stable in his own self. So I'm not going to get a man that don't go out and get things, or a woman for this matter. So what we have to do is we have to know what it is we want for ourselves. Because I didn't come from the greatest household. I even had to have a paradigm shift myself. Because if I was the old me, I wouldn't be sitting right here. Believe that. The way me and the females in my family was raised was, anything a man can do, you can do better. We did, period. But what that came from was, my grandfather on my mom's side was a great father to his daughters, to his children. He was amazing. But my grandmother was very submissive. She didn't really even go outside. My grandfather had a whole nother family on the other side, and this woman named her kids after my mom and my aunts. You know what I mean? It was like that. But that's what my generation was dealing with, you know, with our parents, right? What my mom and aunts took on was, we see our mama, why you let daddy come in here mad? He would snatch the food off the table and all that, and just do, and she would say nothing. She was a very subservient wife. It don't talk about your daddy. Don't you bet, And that's, and to an extent, that's right. Because that's your father, and this is adult shit. You know what I mean? And you still need to have that respect for him because he's a great father. What me and him go through was nothing, right? This ain't got nothing to do with you. But what happened in the psyche is now these 6 girls with no sons went out and they got in relationships that wasn't the best, indoor, etc. They raised all these great children and taught the women that you don't let a man do this. You don't never let a man do that. You don't listen when a man tell you this. You don't listen when a man tell you that. But that came from watching their mother not take up for herself and get walked over. So when I have my daughters, I'm not going to let them let a man do this and that. And it worked until it didn't. That's why I had the situation with the affair. Because in my man, like, he was the man, don't get me wrong. He was the man. But in my mind, in my psyche, yeah, I ain't putting no bills in no man's name. Because I remember my stepdad, when I came home, the house was completely empty and we had nothing. He took everything.
Ooh, that's why to this
you know
day,
what I mean? So what happens is we have to deal with our shadow side. It took years for me to put one single bill. I was married with all the bills still in my name, man, because not letting go of fear of going through what I went through in my childhood and watching my mom go through and my aunts go through. And what I had to do was sit back and take a lot of time to self-reflect and say, hold on, this man ain't my daddy. He's not my aunt's kid's father. He's not this man. He's not that man. He's his own man. Right. And until I release that and allow him to be the man, I'm gonna get the same result. I'm gonna get the result I got. If I don't want to encounter a whole mistress affair, I need to fall back and realize where I need to let go of, which had nothing to do with him. This was a Tanya thing. So whatever you going through, and you like, hey, what about this or that? That's a Marcus thing. It's a Philip thing. It's a Tariq thing. Like we have to be accountable for our own shadow sides and heal. It's not nobody else's responsibility to heal what we got going on. But because a lot of that fear of love, fear of letting go and allowing somebody else to deal with you is why we have these side situations going on.
That's a question. Like, I don't know if it still has to do with the topic, but it's from like the main woman's perspective. What happens when you're in a long-term relationship and you're the main woman, but then you end up feeling like you're the side piece? Because he is stepping out and he's spending so much time with her and doing things that you didn't know that was wrong in the relationship with the other person. Because it was a situation where I was with my son's daddy for 7 years, and it got to a point to where I felt like I was the side piece because he's stepping out with this person so much, and I'm like, she don't even have nowhere near half the shit that I got. Well, it wasn't even about that. It was just like, I'm starting to feel like you're into her, or you're loving her more than you're loving me, and you're just leaving me and the kids in the house and doing what you want to do because you had end up getting that freedom of getting a job where it's a lot of women around. He was doing security. It's a lot of women around. So his head's starting to get big. So you started doing stuff that you wouldn't normally do, that you was not doing. And we already been together for even when my daughter was a baby. Like, you was her dad. She didn't know her dad. Then you was the dad that raised her. Then we ended up having another child. But then you got me in the house, and we sitting here waiting for daddy to come home. And you doing all of this and doing that, and you can't the same energy that you giving to those other women. Why can't you give that energy at home? Like you said earlier, action for every reaction. I literally sat on my couch and told this man, I'm no longer in love with you. You're doing things to me that I no longer can feel for you. Like, every action gets a reaction. And once I get to the point to where I'm gonna step out and get a side dude, all hell gonna break loose.
They can't
So,
handle that.
right,
They
like,
can dish it
it
out.
was
They can't fake it.
Right, it was old.
That comes from him not being consent, though.
That
That comes from him not being consent. Man, you gotta be, you gotta. Well, I keep saying it, man. We put it like this, man.
Also, his uncles was doing it too. His uncles was doing it too. They had main women at home. Like, these women was going to jail for, all that for them and everything, but everybody had a side piece, even though him and all his uncles had. They was calling me his wife. I never had a ring on my finger. But after being with somebody so long in Kentucky, you commonly law married. So after 5 years, I spent 7 years with him. So I kind of grasped it.
But why? Go ahead, because you're going to say, like, the question is why would, and you're going to answer the question and I'll answer, or we all can answer. Go ahead.
People consent. You know what I mean? It's just, let me tell you something more. Like, you get married, man. Like, first of all, every single man has an ideal woman. That's first and foremost. They might not be in front of us. They might not be around the corner. We might catch ourselves. Women do this too. We might catch ourselves like being so caught up or being so television in the ideal. We try to make the motherfucker in front of us the ideal. But every man has the ideal woman. I was just talking to one of my men about this yesterday. Like, we might not see it, but we have that ideal woman. We just haven't found it yet. And the reason I say that to say is this. If a man is content Yeah, he doesn't want anything outside of that. If you've ever been tunnel vision in a woman, you don't want anything outside of that woman. There's no reason for you to step out. It was either this is the ideal woman that you always had in your mind, and you found it, and you about to put it in, to perspective. Y'all about to manifest it, or she only had some of the qualities of your ideal woman, or she was a limited. It was a limited. You was just willing to settle for it, and then it ran its course later on.
So before you say what you gotta say, when you say the ideal woman, the crazy thing is both of those men that I had children with, they didn't realize I was the ideal woman until I moved to a whole nother state and left them and showed them who I was. Even in different relationships and situationships, even with my teenage boyfriend, they all still call me and be like, you really was that woman, that female. I remember telling my son's father, let me show you what type of woman I am. Let me show you that I'm not, yes, my name is Ashley, but I don't walk and talk like an Ashley. You know, it's more like an Angelique, Abby. You know what I'm saying? Like, so don't put me in that category of not knowing. Don't put me in that category. But you know, a lot of people think when you got names like Ashley, Brittany, and Whitney, like you know, clueless type shit. But right. But it was like it took me to leave them for them to stop treating me just like a baby mama or a side chick or somebody they was messing with, for them to understand that I was the woman for them all along. Because these men been single ever since I was there.
I'm gonna touch on that. I know you had something to say. You probably had something to say.
That come from you ever heard Cat Williams say a phantom looked like he said a Chrysler looked like a phantom until a phantom pulled up. Alright, so with that analogy you got, that comes from a lot of men wanting something and not being built for what they want.
Yeah, thank you.
Not being ready for what they want. They caught off balance, but females go through the same shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know how many times I done ran into females and they be talking about, I just want a man, I want a real man, and I pull up and they don't know what the fuck.
Right.
So, and I'm not saying that just off of a stutter, I'm saying that off of their actions, body language, say everything. So, when that happens, of course, it exposes itself. They weren't ready for that. They weren't built for that, like they said, like they thought they would. And then when it slips away, just like a baby, when you take it all away from the pit, they 35 and 34 now.
So, and that's we're gonna touch on that. V, what's your comment?
If I felt like my significant other, husband, whatever, was trying to turn me into the side chick, it's time for me to go. So once you're stepping out, and I know you're stepping out, and I know you're spending more time with that, no, you know what, baby, y'all have a nice life. It might hurt. I'm gonna get over it. I'm strong.
It took me a while just because.
It does. It takes time. You gonna cry. You gonna be lonely. You gonna be, but I'm gonna be alright. Because at the end of the day, at the end of the day, how you get them is how you lose them. How you get them is how you lose them.
I jumped on his ass. I was like, Mama, come get me. Pack all my stuff. I'm ready to go.
One good thing is, we don't play that way. If you messed up on me in a relationship, you won't get a second chance. So the thing is, if you're a woman, you overthink, like, why you keep doing it? Knowing damn well that I'm not going to give you a second chance. I mean, whose fault is that?
That's funny. Because I was going to touch on the first thing is, it's a collection of what everybody else said. Until we enter that person's psyche, which we will never physically be able to be, you really don't know what the real reason and underlying purpose is for them moving like they move. We got a collective thing. We got them not being content, like Tariq was saying. We got them not knowing how to deal with their past, like you were saying. We got, hey, the person ain't giving me what I need as an individual, like Philip was saying. And we got, you know what, I ain't just putting up with this shit, like V said. And then we got actually like, I need to reevaluate what situation I'm in, right?
So we have a multitude of different things that can transpire in each situation. However, when a man and or a woman is spending more time outside of the home, so remind you, you're meeting someone originally so that you can be evenly yoked with this individual so that y'all can build something. You know what I mean? Like build. We're talking about building. You have to build your friendship, build your love, build your character, build your understanding, build your communication. Everything is a building process. It's like Legos. You're a kid. You take one block and another. Before you turn around, your mom be like, girl, boy, you made that. That's a cute airplane. It didn't look like an airplane when all them damn blocks you was stepping on was on the ground, right? So what happens is a lot of people are not ready to sit down and pour the cement for a foundation. What they want to do is they just want to go in the porch somewhere, play around, shoot balls, swing a little bit, get bored, go do something else, go get ice cream. Now I want candy. What time's my curfew? Like it's the mind of an adolescent. Adolescents don't know. They want to do everything. They want to do everything at the same time. So then we have an immaturity level in a man that sat down and let's look at it. Baby daddy was living with his mama. So these are the things. So when you pick somebody, you have to understand exactly what you cherry picking. You know what I mean? You don't know that cherry ain't right a little bit until you bite into a couple. Even cherry pick, when you go in and you pick it, they test the fruits that they're putting into produce, right? You in there, you picking, you eat, no, it's right, it might be, let's go this tree or whatever. When people show you who they are, what happens is because of the way we see ourselves, we overlook those things. Bruh living with his mama, and he a grown man. His mama can't even handle him. He a grown man. So when he gets you in a situation, he gonna handle you like he do his mama. You know what I mean? So all of these things were gonna happen. But then we have to understand there's a lesson. What is the lesson to learn? Everything happens for a reason so that you can learn the lesson. And until you learn the lesson, you're not going to receive what you need to receive, which is a door to open to another avenue, another portal, so you can learn another lesson. So your lesson was to value yourself more. When a man starts spending more time, I'm huge on this. After I went through my situations and worked on myself, I was huge on making sure that I kept a home so peaceable and so inviting that my man would always want to come home. I ain't never get, oh baby, I'm stopping by the bar, I'm gonna have some drinks, I'm going to homeboys. Like, if that was happening, it was on the calendar. We already knew, there's one with Tony and them, and they gonna do this and hang out, there's people from Ohio's in town or whatever, and then they stayed with us. But like it was like, I'm going home to my wife. I'm going home to my family. So what happens is we don't have environment conducive to what the man really needs. These men are going out here, they busting their ass. They got to deal with all the elements outside in the world. They got to deal with a boss telling them that they ain't great enough when they being the greatest version of them they can be. Then they got to come home and you looking silly. You got a bonnet on your damn head. You ain't cooked a meal. The house ain't clean. The kids don't know how to act, and you ain't giving no head. Y'all tripping. This is why a chick that would be a side piece, if I was to be a side piece, he ain't coming home. I'm telling you, he's not coming home. So what we have to do is we have to flip. We're in a society where everything is flipped. Good is bad, bad is good. Okay, each is his own. You know what I mean? I run my household like I want to run it. You all run y'all's like y'all want to, right? Then when you have an understanding to not allow the women that are saying the side pieces are getting married and wiped up, a man that does not value me and what we're building collectively is a man that need to go and marry another side piece. I ain't even mad at you. I ain't mad at you. Because the man that's for us and those women is going to be a one-woman's man.
And it's going to take that time to build that foundation.
And she's going to deal with a side piece. She's going to go from being the side piece to being the wife of the other side piece.
Exactly.
Period.
Exactly.
Last
I ain't
question.
even gonna touch that.
Well, it was something like a year. My question was, if you are seeing them more than a year, are they still a side piece? I mean,
Hold on. Oh, what was that question?
If you're seeing them more than a year, are they still a side piece?
Great side piece.
Look, man, as long as
After then, that just
Look,
becomes a situation.
That's
a whole relationship. That's a whole relationship.
Don't change, don't pass away. That's all it's what happens. If you still got a wife, you still got a wife.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And you got a side, and you got a business, and you stand outside.
Five-star side piece.
It's a side piece.
You got a side piece.
Okay.
It's just an extended stay side piece.
He said extended stay. Now you get the microwave and the burner. Wow. Listen, yeah, I don't know what you brothers and sisters is dealing with out here with that. Y'all might as well move them in. I mean, at that point, question from management. I'm gonna ask each and every last one of y'all. We're gonna start on them. How many side pieces have you had?
0.
0. Dead. You 0. That's your story. You sticking to it, right?
I don't have that piece. I break up before.
Never. Okay. Never side piece.
Not while in a relationship, just in general.
I mean, they only a side piece if you're in a relationship.
Everybody done been a side piece before.
Man.
And done had them too.
No, see, situationships, yes. Side piece.
Nah, I'm not the best.
She said multiple situations, so
But
that counts. Situationship.
I don't know, no, because situationship, side piece, sneaky link, thought that was one thing.
Like a favorite.
But you have to have a main in order to have a side piece, right?
Exactly.
If you don't have a main.
So you got.
I mean, you would have to, even whoever you seeing.
It's all about balance when you get older.
You got a
Right,
favorite,
but so in your
you got
life-
somebody else who don't come through. Who come through when the favorite don't.
No, how many side pieces have you had? Meaning, I left home, baby.
Yeah, how many
Be
times?
my side piece.
Yeah, you cheated. There you go. Cheated.
He left home.
Yeah, I mean,
How many times?
None.
How many side pieces have you had?
never ever cheated.
None.
Ever.
Everybody, women, everybody single. July the 29th,
Never cheated.
9 p.m. at the bottleship, because we have a super faithful man, single man, Philip. Philip will be in the building. He's never cheated, and he's looking to wipe somebody up.
I'm a Virgo though, so you
Yes, baby, the earth. I'm married to Virgo.
be careful.
Right. But I don't know, y'all amazing. I don't know, the only thing that can handle Virgo, honestly, is a Capricorn. I'm going to say Pisces. They the most compatible out of all zodiac signs. Two earth signs. Not Capricorn and Capricorn. Or Capricorn and Taurus. All the Capricorn ladies. The Capricorn and Virgos make the most money together. They relationships last the longest. We balance y'all emotions. Okay, that's a good one. Y'all might need to link up then.
What's up?
She's a Capricorn. I'm a January Capricorn. I'm 114, so I got it the best. How many side pieces? How many side pieces have you had, Marcus?
Well, before I answer this question, I want to know, is a fling considered a side piece?
Nah.
And did you have another person?
Are you in a relationship?
No relationship, just a fling.
Okay, so you only got one piece. You a side piece, right? Did you have a main chick that you was with, that you had a fling with, and then you introduced somebody else?
Step off, but just to do this and forget.
Oh, stand up. You the next contestant on I Had a Side Piece. Stand up.
Either you single or you
Okay,
ain't.
so you was in a relationship. Come in. Do tell. He did. He's in a relationship, but then you step out to have a quick fling, and then you was like, yeah, good. Thanks, well, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, and it's over.
Can I go in details though?
Yes.
Okay. So during that time, I had a wife. Right?
Oh.
Yes, and she
Oh.
didn't do heads. You know what I mean?
What?
This is something we spoke about numerous times, and she decided she didn't do that. So I felt like, one night I just needed to do that, and that's what I wanted, and that's what I went for. You know what I mean? I came back home and spoke about it. It was sad. You ain't have to explain that to me. But I'm just saying.
If we looked at it, was saying that the wifey didn't get
We gotta get.
You ain't playing as a tails in the bedroom, something wrong.
Now we know they not for each other.
Oh,
Yeah.
not me. Hold on, she said, right.
Come on me.
Oh, that's right.
Valencia don't.
He don't get that. No, I damn well said that last week.
Yeah.
She's still work in progress. Okay, so what I'm saying is, okay, so that goes into again what we said earlier, why people step out. For every action is a reaction. He said, "Baby, listen, I'm gonna need some, okay?" But didn't you know she didn't give head before you married her?
No, I didn't.
You didn't get head
She
before you
was a
married her?
Christian. That's how I did.
That was a lie.
That brother was young. He had to learn that.
He had to learn.
He
She was lying.
She was a Christian.
She was lying. Because I think only this one right here is about the only woman that I know out of 31 years that's ever said that they don't do it.
But that's beautiful.
That's why she lost her husband.
You don't want to be in love, huh?
She learning. I am her to ask that coming soon. She's learning.
No,
We going to class. I was going to say that throw baby. It make a difference. Okay, so.
I lost count, man.
We do it.
them eyes right there, them eyes and them lips.
Me said them arms, the eyes, and the lips. Lord.
He lost count. I know he lost
That's
count,
what you
ladies.
gotta
Y'all see?
understand. That's what you gotta understand.
It's exponential.
First of all, I was young and I have a little son.
You have what?
I said I was young and I have a little son. You know what I mean?
Okay. I thought you said I had a little something.
Oh, no. And it ain't, no. I'm not using that as an excuse. I'm going somewhere with it. Okay. In order for me, first of all, to even take a relationship seriously, I had to start when I never took it seriously. I didn't come from any examples where I had any successful relationships, so I had to go out there and I had to find it for myself. Now, granted, I wasn't like a lot of my peers. A lot of my peers was just females was just throwing that shit at me. Now, me personally, I was always the one that found myself in relationships, so I stagnated myself. And daggone, I was in relationships, but in those relationships, I'm cheap. So I shouldn't have been in a relationship. As opposed to my man. Huh?
But you knew you was in one.
I know I was in one. But once again, I'm going somewhere with this. I had to learn this. I'm doing it backwards. All my other men, they slaying. But see, you look at a lot of them now, you look at me now, I'm a little bit more wiser when it comes to relationships. I know how to carry it. They never been in love. So now what they're going through in like 28, for some of them 30, they find in love for the first time and they fall in love. I had to learn mine the hard way. I'm not justifying what I did. I am acknowledging those experiences that I did have to go through.
How many you had?
He lost count.
You gotta think about it. I didn't.
Every relationship you was in, you had a side piece.
I had a side piece. Like, you guys, I'm just coming home. I did 10 years in the penitentiary. I'm just coming home. I just only been home for like eight months. When I was younger, I didn't take a lot of relationships serious, so I might have 5 side pieces.
Damn.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I wasn't like.
Silly.
I wasn't.
That's in high school, yeah, but
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
10 years ago, he was in high school.
Yeah,
Y'all move. Oh my God.
I mean, it really is all about perspective.
I mean, now he learned it. You see, Marcel, like, now he know what the value of his own worth is. Because men have value as well. So it's not just the women that should be like, oh no, I'm not going to lower my standards. I'm not going to do this. It should be a man too.
No, I haven't recently been in a relationship. The last relationship, I don't even play with them because I had to learn. Before I got locked up, I was in a serious relationship. When I got locked up, it exposed what I thought that serious relationship was, and I seen that we wasn't compatible. So of course I'm not, I don't indulge in homosexual activity. So you gotta imagine for 10 years I'm running through all types of different women, that I'm either in a relationship with or we just building, we vibing for years. And I had to learn a lot about what a real relationship consists of. Now I'm at a point in my life, especially with my way of life, with being a Moorish American, I don't play with relationships. If we're gonna be in a relationship, we're gonna be in a relationship for real. You know what I'm saying? Like if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it. That's sacred to me. And that's what I don't play with. I don't easily jump into it. A lot of people easily jump into a relationship. I wouldn't know how critical and crucial that was had I not been, you know what I'm saying, doing what I was doing when I was young.
A lot of people puppet in relationships too, though. Like,
What do you mean puppet?
you act like you want it, then you don't. Then you
A lot of
act
people do. A lot of
like you
people
want to
do.
be in a relationship with her, but then you doing your own thing. Like,
This is very true. I've been on both sides of it. I've been on both. I've been the one jumping, and then I've been in drunk with a female with the one jumping. As a matter of fact, that's one of the reasons why I'm not in a relationship right now. That happened the same year I was coming home. How the fuck you mess up? You put in all this work, all this time to try to show me you want to be the woman that I'm spending the rest of my life with, and you messed up the same year. I'm coming home.
I'm coming home.
So, and anyway, but that's neither here nor there. But you absolutely right, though. You got a lot of people that's jumping like that.
That's fear. That's fear-based. Fear of being hurt. Fear of revisiting the hurt. Fear of really, what if it don't work? You know what I mean? And I think
that's also not knowing
what they have.
Not knowing what you have.
know what you got to.
Not knowing what you, because see, what people don't understand is you're more subjected to your individual's character when you're locked up, as opposed to being caught up in that physical shit. I know you more mental. I knew more people. I knew more women better than they knew themselves because I was only subjected to a relationship with them over the phone. Because you know what I'm saying? But I know who you are. If I'm accepting you, I know who you are. But because this female couldn't, she couldn't hold fast with that. She didn't know what she did. So,
Her loss, right? How many side pieces?
How many side pieces, y'all?
So it's when in a relationship have somebody on the side.
I mean, your definition.
Or you got a man and you got somebody on the side.
So, okay, so I'm trying to explain this. So I guess it was a relationship. I was in a 12-year relationship, and I had to go and do prison time. And our relationship, we went through a lot, and I figured once I went and I was doing my time, he was gonna go do his thing. So when I was coming home, I had to go to the halfway house. When I went to the halfway house, I met somebody. So we were talking, and yeah, it was co-ed, men and women. And then I've been away a long time. My thing was hot. So I met somebody, and we connected mentally, and he was cool, except he got a little bit too serious, because I was like, hold on, he's talking about marriage and all this. I'm like, shit, I just came home, I don't even know where I'm gonna live, really. Hold on, you're doing a little too much. So that's the only situation that I had where I had somebody. I guess he would have been on the side. I guess.
So you had your main dude, but then you had the side dude.
Yeah, I had the
that was in, that you had the mental connection with.
Yeah.
Okay, that's your ass, right?
Yeah,
Everything happened in prison, boy. I tell you, they got more. Honestly, I would say 2.
And that was because while I was with that person for 7 years, I got tired of him being the only one doing him. And it got crazy. Like at one point, we broke up and got back together, and one of the dudes actually knocked on my door and just opened my damn door. And he was in the bed. And I was living in one of them apartments where it was a shotgun apartment. As soon as you walk in, you got your kitchen, you got your living room, then you walk down the hall, you got your bathroom, then you got your 2 bedrooms. So my bedroom was at the very end of the hall. So my homegirl was doing my hair, and he just opened my door. And I lived in the projects at the time. Like, he just opened my door, and I'm like,
And I'm just like, what the hell? Like, why would you? This man just came and opened up my door. Never again. Because I thought I was going to get my neck broke that day. I was nervous and shit, like, bruh, he is on the bed. Right.
But that was only, like I said, I only got into those side piece relationships because I got tired of the person that I was with treating me in kind of way. It was a kind of if you can do it, I can do it too type of thing. But I never really did it while we was actually together. I always waited till we broke up. But I still always felt guilty because we always end up getting back together. So I don't know if he was still caught at a side piece, but I still kept in touch with him even after we got back together because I know you gonna do some shit that I ain't gonna like. That's gonna make me go back to it. Yeah. Like at this point, yeah.
Listen, I'm trying to think, like, at what point did I really have somebody on the side? Yeah, because you smiling like you know. What? She like, like right, I was gonna say, right. I'm sitting there thinking, like, when's the last, I mean, I had a boy, like, I can tell you, I was pretty faithful.
I was already born.
Right.
So because
You never had a side piece.
No, the thing is,
Would you prefer that or sneaky link?
the sneaky link's the same thing, right?
That's
the same thing. That's the same thing. I didn't
Are we saying, when we, listen, are we talking about, when we saying this as far as like what counts as being a side piece or counts as cheating, are we saying from a sacred perspective it's like, no?
I think this is out just the covenant in general, just being in exclusive relationship and or marriage, because you know the side pieces is gonna be in any situation that you and another person said we exclusive.
And the sneaking link of what again?
Somebody you sneaking with. I call them, honey, that's the missing link. So I didn't do that. They listen with me. But I mean, yeah, but I haven't. I was in the relationships I was in, the few we've been in. Once it was over, then I did what, you know what I mean? Like I would then be single and somebody else come along and I'm in a situation, or we get in I've always been in a relationship. I've really, until these past 3 years, it's the first time I've ever been single this long. Like I've always, if it's something there, like I don't need to be like, you know what, you. Let me just see you and you. You. Like I'm gonna pick somebody, cause I know what I want. I know what I need. So because I know what my needs and wants are, you might not solidify. You might. He might not. But then, him right there, yeah, that's exactly what I need in my life. Because so one, I have an understanding that I'm not the head. So you have to be a leader. You have to have leadership qualities and abilities. You have to show me without me knowing that you're trying to show me that you are a leader. Because my spirit is already going to tell me this is who it is and this is who it's not. So I was like picked. I wasn't like all over the place. And I had kids. I had her at 14. I ain't got to be over here. Like, they know every person. Then they still, like, for them, are still people that I can pick up the phone and call right now. Or that they'll call, hey, how you doing? How the kids doing? Or something like that. I've dealt with men with integrity. And to be like that. So I ain't really been in all that foolishness. Plus, y'all both come to spend like, ain't no dude fooling. He gonna come like, hey, he gonna be at the door. But you ain't y'all said phone.
And your sneaking link gotta look better than your man, because otherwise, horse.
I didn't have five sleep in the driveway.
That'll never happen. When men cheat, they always.
Right.
I have never seen when a man cheats, the woman looks better than who he's with.
Exactly.
I mean, anybody I get caught after, he's gonna be the bomb.
I feel like even if you do, you're really not gonna say she did.
I mean, she cute, she cute.
Yeah,
Yeah, you saying that now, too.
I'm saying, like, anybody else, I mean, I ain't really getting out too much. But Roger, that was like very innocent. But nevertheless, right. But no, so, with that being said, no, I mean, like, why am I the only one that ain't, this is some bull. Some bull. I didn't know. I got a board life or something. I got put in the situation. I didn't want to be
talking about having one. Oh, just having
yeah,
this,
like
yeah.
I
would say sometimes it just happens.
yeah.
It takes a lot of energy. This is the thing, like, men take too much energy to be trying to please multiple people. I just get one. Just give me one. I do a lot in my relationships. I ain't got time to be doing all that for everybody else. Plus, the levels ain't the same. I gotta treat him like a king and treat you like the peasant.
Hello.
That shit is exhausting. It
It's
consumes
exhausting.
your whole day.
It does.
All day. You gotta answer all this
You got one
calls.
caller.
I don't even like it now. Good morning.
Hold on.
Good morning, beautiful. Good evening. Good evening. Like, ain't nobody got time.
I had a Facebook friend, and I can't even think of his name right now. I was reading his status earlier. He said that the women nowadays are getting aggravated and agitated because the men are only good morning, what you doing today, good morning. And he was like, what if that's all the man have to offer to get you to give him some attention? So you get mad because I'm that man that's saying what you doing, good morning, every day to start off the conversation. He was like, how you know that's all I don't have to start the conversation off with? I mean, but y'all complaining
Absolutely.
about not having a man who's not giving you attention, but then you shoot down that man who's saying good
That's
morning every
not
day, what you
attention.
doing?
What that post I
No,
say?
he's just saying like that's how he sorts his conversation out
But
in
I'm saying
general,
that's
but
all
the
it
woman
really
is
be.
pushing him away.
That's all it really be.
Yeah.
Right. That's all it really be, though. You know what I mean?
Valencia, I hope you're having a nice morning. How are you doing
I was
today?
thinking about you.
Hello.
You know what I mean? But it's repetitive, and that's all the movement. And I think that's what a lot of us deal with in the day. That's just the movement. And I know I had a post that say real women don't get excited over text messages. They get excited over dates and phone calls. Like I'm like with all the options that are there. The only option that's gonna stand out is the one that's taking the extra steps to stand out.
Right, send me some
We need to do something. Like, give me something. Right.
Now, what we got? A rose. I just had to text somebody the other day. Right. I ain't had those. They said I got a meme the other morning.
I was like, why are you the meme? It was a sexual meme, and I was like, damn, what happened to good morning? How's your day? Did you brush your teeth?
Now,
Everything, I just got a whole,
I mean,
you let me
know
know
what?
you got sex on your mind.
I'm gonna
soon as
keep
you
it
wake up.
100. It was one. I'm gonna keep 100. I have been getting gifts randomly, right? I got a beautiful orchid. Somebody brought it to. I was at the office a couple days ago. Like, it's really cute. And that's the second orchid he brought. And it was like, gave me like a couple months. The first one just died. And he was like, he called, he was like, I hope you like the orchid. I was like, yeah, it's really nice, thank you, whatever. He was like, this is just so you can remember that I'm still waiting. I was like,
That's sweet.
I was like, okay.
But
It was, but that was sweet.
Forgot
But,
that.
I mean, yeah, but then, a couple of it was alright.
They just meet you, they want, okay, I'll come to your house.
But the crazy thing is, the people that know me,
I like when I get
if
to
you
go to
know
their
me, I
house.
know. If you know me, you'll know Tanya loves roses and candles. I love things that smell good. Like I'm a smell good
Run me
person.
some bath water.
And give me
They
some
feel
bath
all.
water.
The orchid was great,
This
though.
is
I have
something I
to
have
do.
never did. I want my man. I want a picnic.
Pay attention, man, so you don't get a
I
sticky
want
one.
a picnic where either you cook, hire a caterer, do some nice candles. Oh, it could be looking over the moon, over the stars, over the water. Come on, I can do nature.
Jason's lyrics.
Yeah,
I did that.
Do some, recite some poetry, baby, I love you. I love you, baby. You know, do some party. I love it. Do that for me.
I did that.
Yeah, right.
I set the picnic. That's how I got.
But you know what? That's when you have to explain first.
Man, we're not doing that. Whole nother topic. Stop. Stop.
I'm gonna be full of that because, like I said, if I'm your friend first, then yes, hopefully I learn that information. But sometimes.
Oh yeah, you need to learn it. Yeah.
That is like one of the first Okay, no. Let's say it's not one of the first conversations. As adults, you know, at a point like I don't have to know. Let's say Tariq's next to me. I don't have to know Tariq 100% to know as a woman. I know what a man desires. I should know. As a man, he shouldn't have to know me 100%, especially doing something like that. This is part of chivalry, being romantic, taking the time and effort and putting the energy into showing somebody that you're thinking about them, that you want to spend some intimate time with them.
But the thing is,
this is a picnic, bro.
Like a previous show before, like your love language, though. Your love language would be different from me. B's love language is different from you. So, like,
do you eat every day? No matter what your love language is.
Like to eat.
No, but I get it. But I've been with women that didn't like flowers, and then like they like different things. So you know what I'm saying? But like, I just know that all women is not the same.
Here's a point.
We're talking about a picnic.
Yeah, I mean, right.
Like the orchid.
We love to eat.
Right, but this is the thing. What she's talking about is intimacy. Even if it was nothing but grapes, cheese, and crackers, it's the intimacy part for us. It ain't even down to the what kind of, like the person thought, I'm not an orchid person.
You can have a picnic as a friend. Like if you and I were talking, dating, getting to know one another, we can be friends and have a picnic.
The first date.
Because
guess what?
We're going to ask all the questions we can.
My main thing is too, like when I first had kids, like I think it's a perfect example. My mother of my child, she assumed that I knew how to care for a kid instead of like really talking to me. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like never assume anything because
that's a key.
Because the thing is, she looked at me when she asked me to take my kid a bath, right? I'm like, yo, I just don't want to drown him and kill him. But she looked at me like she has been babysitting forever. I never had to. So I'm just saying, just never assume anything.
So that's lack of communication, effective communication, right?
It's more just for you talking, you're open
right.
people.
But you're a first-time father, right? At this time. That's common sense.
It's not common sense.
Listen, you ain't never had a baby. You ain't never watched a baby, right?
Yeah, but
you said she know this about you.
There's so many mass murders in the United States that we can't handle the gun law. You know what I'm saying? It's not
like,
common sense anymore.
No, what I'm saying, let's be, because see, this is what I'm big on. I don't make excuses. You know what I mean? Because she's been babysitting. Of course she's going to know how to bathe the baby. But when you got somebody that ain't never watched the baby, touched the baby, you know I got to teach him how to be a dad. You know what I mean?
You think that.
How would you know?
We're guys. So we experience, I don't know if you deal with women, but we,
what?
I'm saying like, but it's just a whole different dynamic when you're a man dealing with a woman than how, what you're saying makes sense, right? But if it was that simple, I probably wouldn't have brought it up.
I mean, it really should. What we're trying to remember, I'm just here to make you think. I mean, see, what we do is we make things way more complex than they really need to be. She was not paying attention to her man. Period. She wasn't paying attention to her man. Because if she was, she know you're first-time father. You ain't had no kids. This shit ain't rocket science. Baby, this how you put on the pamper. We ain't took no baby birthing classes, so I'm going to have to teach him how to take care of this baby. She was not in tune with you. And it's okay. It's a lesson that she will now learn for, future references. I mean, but it's about
all guys and women, we always learn a lesson.
Yeah, we lessons. That's all we're gonna do till we live and die.
Figure it out.
Listen, we good. I love dialoguing with you all, and I love your support. Y'all know you be on next week. I know it's great always. We hear Marcus. This is his first time. Marcus is no longer a virgin. He's had his tours there where his virginity, right? And he likes it, right? So, that being said, thank you guys. See you again next week. We're out.